Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm here with David Heinen, you guys know from the channel a couple times. Say hi, Dave.
Hey guys, how are you?
Dave just started a new Instagram, which is
Your Best Golf.
Yep, so you can see that, and if you go to bb_golf show, and you also see Dave on there as well. Anyway, so I was playing golf with a guy that's played PGA Tour events, and now he's on the Asian Tour and PGA Tour China. And he told me that there's a rumor on the Asian Tour. There's a rumor on the Asian Tour and there's a rumor on the PGA Tour that the guys on the European Tour have a secret. He was like, well, you know they have a secret, right? I was like, oh, really? What is it? He's like, you know, a lot of the guys won't even say exactly what it is, but he's gotten some hints of it. It's kind of connected to how Henrik Stenson won the British Open a year ago, and some of these diagonal lines throughout the body and this stuff that Pete Cowan's doing. Now, I've contacted Pete Cowan's office about interviewing him, flying to England and doing that, and that's in limbo right now. I don't think it's going to happen.
He's
He's a very busy man. But the only teacher that I've interviewed, of the dozens of teachers that I've interviewed, that has alluded to this move that Rory He, the Asian Tour player that I was playing with, was talking about, was David. So David, just on that little bit of information, what do you think this secret move is that guys are talking about that might exist out there right now?
You know, the key that Cowan and I've had some conversations with Peter Cowan about it is well, of course he's got the axe drill, if you've seen that, where...
So go over that. I talked about that. Go over that a little bit.
So the axe drill is a good drill with the spiral staircase. You know, drill is what they're really trying to tell you about. But that kind of alludes to, on the upswing and the downswing, how things are working, lower body and upper body, where as things work up, they work up and around, and then down and around with your body.
Detail that a little bit better for me.
So,
up and around.
So meaning, like, if you took a spot from your heel, it would work a little bit up above this heel. This knee would work a little bit above that knee. This hip a little bit above that hip, and so on. So
can you show me that?
Yeah. So that would look like this a little bit. So as you wind up, it winds up and around, and then it's going to unwind down and around. That's why Stenson hits that 3-wood so good, but he's not so great with the driver.
Okay.
Because he's really down and around, but the driver you need a little more up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things that you were telling me about with Stenson, and connected to this move, is this beach ball drill that he does in the pool.
So the beach ball drill that he does it with the spiral staircase in mind, right? And he's really trying to get it to where he's up and around, and then imagining this beach ball in a pool. So if the pool's this tall, then the ball is just floating above here, and he's trying to push it down with that motion. So he's up, down, push, and then out.
So show me how this move you're talking about with the spiral staircase is so drastically different than what amateurs are doing.
Well, I mean, the average amateur is loading up, maybe transferring, and then bumping. A lot of guys bump and think that's good, and then try to spin, right? Or they're just trying to get that, or you see guys, they go up here and they're like, okay, this has got to go first, and then that's got to go, and then everything's trailing.
Yeah, sequencing.
Whereas, you know, the spiral staircase and what Henrik Stenson and Oosthuizen and those guys do is they load up together, and then they're trying to unload together, down and around through the ball. So they get a really good compression almost all the time.
All right, you explained that really well. Show me quickly the axe drill if you hold that
So
toe down like that.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is ergonomically your arms work like that with an axe, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're trying
to...
So
if there's a log there and you're trying to put the toe of that club into the log.
Into the log, yeah. So as I work that up and around with the ergonomics of my arm, and then down and around, and let that log stick, like you just stick it right in the log.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, that basically it's almost giving you, I would say, 2 gears with your arms if you're doing it right. So instead of being all maybe right arm dominant, or a lot of guys are just all pull, you're actually getting 2 pedals as well as the rotation of your body through. Right. So, you know, that's kind of the big thing over there. And, you know, he works with, you know, McDowell and Oosthuizen and Stenson, and all those guys have very different moves, but their downswings are all based around the same downswing sequencing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of what's, excuse me guys, a lot of what's been popular in the last 6 to 8 years has been extreme lower body first,
Yeah.
and X factor and holding the upper body. And now this is very different because it's together and it's everything together all at once.
Yep,
that
exactly.
would you explain that as the big difference? Yeah.
Exactly. And I would say there really are like 3 different type of golfers that I see. One golfer's all arms, another golfer's all body, and you don't see too many of putting those parts together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can do both of them really well, and get away with it. I mean, a guy like Mark Leishman's a lot of arms,
Yep.
and he can play some good golf. And Phil Mickelson's the same way. Whereas you get a guy like, Stenson, sets his body this way, really rotates everything around him hard, and then lets the ball shoot out. With that rotation as well as arm motion that he.
Yeah, because to me, when I look at Stenson and his chest and arms, it looks very armsy to me.
Yeah.
Very if it almost looks like he's got like 1,000-pound arms.
Yeah, he's kind of a really girthy kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of big. So, but if you watch a guy like Oosthuizen, he just kind of gets the club in this spot, rotates up, and then moves down and around himself.
It's all together.
It's all together, right? So he might be more put together, but on the way down, they're all trying to get that thing down and around with the arms and the rotation.
Not stuck behind themselves.
Yeah, never stuck behind. Yeah, so.
So take that off and try to show us, Dave.
So I'll just sequence it a little
what
bit.
are you feeling here? Just you're feeling all in sequence.
Yeah,
on the
so
way down.
it's up and around, and then as it comes down, I'm coming down, and then the arms are starting to unwind around me, right? And then go around into that spot.
Okay, so if somebody's interested in trying this move, obviously they can go to Your Best Golf on Instagram and contact you. But what's a good drill if they feel like their swing is just behind themselves and they want to get more in sync on the way down?
So, if you're too much body, then you need to really start to balance your, swing out with your arms. Okay.
Yeah, and that would be like percentage-wise, amateur golfers would be how many would be too much body?
80% too much.
80
arms.
plus, yeah.
And 20% maybe too much arms. Like if you're, you get those older guys that are like that, right? But you get these younger guys that are like here and they're trying to move and they're trying to get that thing way underneath and try to flip it at the bottom and save it.
All right, so let's concentrate on the 80% for now.
Okay.
What would be kind of the
so a good drill would be like, I'll take another club, but it's important to get both of your arms sequencing together. So a foot together drill like that is good, where where this foot is just behind that one and you find a good balance point, right? And what I'm trying to do is move my arms up and around and then down and around together like that. So you can use 2 clubs, and I kind of, I want to make sure that I can use both arms and hit it with both arms pretty successfully, back and through. But that true motion after I hit this one will be one of those motions where as this club opens up, this forearm's starting to feel like it's closing down and around me, okay? So it works up and around, down and around. Okay, so what does that look like there? I kind of like it to where it feels like this palm is up, this palm is down, and then what they do is they go up and around, so they opened up and around, and they're coming back down and around, and then from here, you're trying to close that off, or think of a table, okay? Like if I had a table here, and I had 2 mittens that were like squeegees,
Yep.
and I can get it on the table, and then I could squeeze the water off it. That would be probably the best drill.
Okay. Yeah, we've seen Martin Hall from the Golf Channel has talked about Stenson 10 minutes a day is doing extremely slow motion, 2 hands, and kind of what you just did there, only very, very slow.
Yeah, and I
for
say,
a long time.
Form training is really the best form of training, right? If I'm moving my body correctly and the club is becoming a part of my swing, that's far better than me trying to attach to the club.
Right.
So I do a lot of stuff at home where I'm just here, there, here, and then I try to put it together.
Yeah.
So everything feels really blended, and there's nothing that,
Right.
okay.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to get away from as much fanning and closing and more in a spanking kind of way.
Sure.
And something that David and I have talked about before, but
The key
certainly,
is to knowing what your swing is, right?
Right.
So, like for me, sometimes I feel like I get too much arms going.
Okay.
And so for me, I need to feel more of the rotation because my arms are doing a pretty good job without me thinking of
Right.
doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you and your swing, you had to spend years feeling almost all completely arms
Yeah.
just to get your body out of it.
I mean, I used to hit 500-600 balls a day, feet together, boom.
Yep. And that's been the process for me too, as David knows, because when he saw me a couple years ago, I was all body, 0 arms, and then he saw me recently. He's like, "Okay, you have a license. You can start. You can start using some lower body now." Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, like I said, the Instagrams are below, and if you have any questions about this, David will be looking at the comments below on this video, and he's happy to answer anything.
Absolutely.
See you guys. Bye.